Well, good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday. It is Chatsworth Sunday because we are doing those every other week. As a reminder, this is Chatsworth. It is a block of the month from Doug Lecco and David. It was David's idea. All of this, you can blame David.
But it's been a fun blend.
It has been a fun blame so far. But we are doing two blocks every other week, which kind of makes it a block of the week,
Mhm.
depending on how you want to do it. We just decided that we didn't want to take up a full monopoly of our time and do every single week. So we just said that we would do the second and fourth Sundays. It's already the fourth Sunday?
Mhm.
Yes. Yes, it is. We get a bonus fifth Sunday this month.
Yep, because we have Sparkle next week.
Yes, which that's still sitting in the car. Um, so as a reminder, David is doing his blocks in Laurie Holt,
Mhm.
and I'm doing my blocks in various Halloween prints because uh Russ hasn't had a full Halloween quilt. I did As the Crow Flies a couple years ago, which is Halloween-ish, but there were really no Halloween prints. It was just all crows, which means, oh, gee, yeah. I'm not going to tell the bad crow jokes because we're not talking crows. Uh,
Mhm.
so, excuse me. As a reminder of what we did 2 weeks ago, we can show our blocks. These were my two. And then those were David's two. As my
Yes.
camera's zooming. I did not go, well, I got the tied pins, but I have not um corrected the smudge. So
That's
that's on my
that's
list of things to do.
that is minor.
Yeah, it's there, it works. So we are going to begin the sewification of our blocks. And this is not a tutorial. It is a sew along. So anybody who is working on this can sew with. Um, but I say it's not a tutorial, which is why, I'm not showing every single step that we are doing. So over in the chat, we have our friend Candace. Hi, Candace. She's complaining about the pollen. She sent me a text a few minutes ago saying pollen is everywhere. That's what happens this time of year,
Mhm.
Candace. That's why when David was living here, he washed his car twice a day during this time of year.
Mhm.
And you think I'm kidding? He really did wash his car twice a day.
I still did do that here because I have a blue car and it's green right now.
We also have Tamala. Good afternoon, Tamala. And we have Bestie Colleen, who says, "Hey, Bestie," and David.
Hello.
So yeah, we got a handful of people here. Uh, so interesting announcement.
Uh-oh.
Yesterday, after my live in the morning, I was on yesterday with my friend Stephanie of Stephanie Stitches. And she and I were chit-chatting for a couple minutes after the live because I had a couple things I needed to ask her. And then I started to say, I was like, yeah, no, last night I had a dream that, and I paused like that. And I'm sure she thought my internet froze or something. And then I had to correct myself. I was like, okay, my dream came true because I hit 1,500 subscribers.
Woohoo.
So I was shocked because my subscriber count had kind of stalled for a little bit, which it happens. It took me a couple years just to get to that 1,000 point, and that was just over 2 years ago. So it took me just over 2 years to get another 500. which I guess shows how slowly YouTube subscribers can grow on some channels. I know if I came up with some silly idea and somehow went viral or something, that would make things go a lot faster. But at the same time, I don't know if I really want to grow instantly overnight because that means that's going to be a lot more work. So, yes, I am excited that I hit the 1500. I will have a giveaway scheduled for my subscribers. I need to get a video recorded for that and put out because I have a pretty good sized giveaway, thanks to David. Uh, so that's going to be an exciting giveaway for that.
Mhm.
Colleen's like, time for a giveaway. Yep, that's what I said.
Exactly.
As Colleen's like, I want 72 entries.
Oh my gosh.
When she finds out what the giveaway is, she's going to want 72 entries.
I was gonna say we're not the boys buying raffle tickets.
Right. Yeah. And it's going to be really one entry per person.
Speaking of raffles, how's your new iron going?
Oh, I am loving it. How does that have a raffle associated with it?
Well, because a lot of people
Oh,
will.
oh, that's how it has a raffle associated
Yes.
with it. Yeah, uh
Is it the Ulsa one? Or however you
the
say it?
Aliso, yes.
Yeah. Okay. How do you like the up and down? I've got a regular one, but I've never opened it.
It so the up and down startles me still.
Hmm.
I am not one to leave it horizontal to let it do the up and down like that. I still bring it vertically,
Hmm.
and that's mostly because of the fact that, when you go to a class or something and you're using somebody else's iron, you don't want to accidentally burn their pressing mat.
Well, and that's why I've been so reluctant to pull mine out because I've got my Rowenta for like massive steaming, and then I have my little Panasonic one for
Uh-huh.
which I love that thing.
Yeah. So our local quilt shop, the one that's second closest to here, technically, um,
Your block,
they
your block, or the other one.
the blocky one.
Okay.
So technically they're second closest.
Oh, that's right, because down the hill in the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So they are totally not a fan of the Olisos because they have had many of their pressing mats destroyed
I can,
because of people forgetting that it's not an Oliso.
I can see that.
And that's part of the reason why I'm still doing I'm going to stand it up. But I love the way that it heats up. I love the way that it presses and everything. So I'm thrilled with it.
But and see, that's why I kind of stuck with the Rowenta because it just there's so many steam holes on it and it heats
Yeah.
super hot. Where the Panasonic's great for like piecing, like what we're doing.
Yes. I love the Panasonic for piecing. I love my small Eliso for travel. And then I don't use steam in my iron, whether it be the Eliso or our Panasonic and stuff. In
Hmm.
fact, I don't even have the steam container in my iron.
Oh, yes. I don't have it full, but it's just there because otherwise it drive me nuts. Because
But
there's no OCD with us at all.
oh no, we have zero OCD among us. But it's always been a dry ironing for me. Although,
I will steam when I'm doing my initial press
uh-huh.
before cuts, and just because I like the starchy and the steam
Yeah,
with it.
once you cut it, you don't need to be steaming anymore.
No.
But I know with the Art East project, Second Star to the Right, that is about to start,
Hmm.
I am going to definitely have to starch everything.
Did they give you pieces big enough?
Uh, I- as far as I understand, yes, because the first instruction is starch.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, this
I
is
don't know how much extra we have, but it is definitely starch and everything. And also you only cut 1 month at a time because if you try to cut a second month, you're going to get your blocks mixed up.
oh, it's one of those. Okay.
Because it's the first month is pieces capital A to capital Z, capital AA to capital VV, I think, and lowercase a to lowercase z, and lowercase AA to lowercase FF, which is like 84 pieces or something like that. So, and then the next month starts again with your A's. So there's zero point in trying to cut a whole bunch of stuff unless um you keep them in separate bins. And even then, you risk
Well, I was just at
making a mistake.
Costco. I got 264 quart ones and then 192 gallon ones, all for sewing. For that reason, because like everything that we're doing, all the projects, I've got them all in the bags, in the months, in the blocks, and I'm just like, wow, I special.
Well, with as many pieces as are in a single month of Art East, I would be cutting for probably 8 days straight.
Yeah.
Colleen says she inherited a large Oliso from her mom and she loves it. I I what is the phrase? I used Stephanie's Oliso at the retreat. She has the Tula one as well. And it was basically the other iron wasn't working half the time for whatever reason. And she's like, "Oh, you just use mine, use mine." I'm like, "But you're gonna make me like it and stuff like that." And she goes, "I can sell you one." I'm like, "Of course you can."
And we know how much you love Tula, so that was like,
Oh, her twisting my arm to buy it was just like,
hmm. Well, it's like when we were up north and you got the Tula
oh
scissors
yeah.
because we just impulse buy like no tomorrow when we're shopping.
Impulse buy? What's that?
I know, right? Not us.
Speaking of impulses,
Oh no. What did you
I
buy?
I, I need to go shoe shopping.
Wait, you're buying actual shoes?
No, I saw a video week or two ago. I don't know if I sent it to you.
If asked your
Uh,
shoes, no.
okay, well, I'm gonna have to basically Crocs makes a perfect dad shoe,
Oh, please tell me no.
and they look perfect. And I'd be like, I can wear these at work. I just gotta see,
More and more airports
how
are
they
banning
fit in
them.
my size because I love Crocs flip flops. I will not wear a Croc that looks like a Croc, which means I'm very limited on even on the flip flops that I wear because I want the strap to be a fabric strap, not a Croc plastic strap.
Hmm.
So If I can find stuff that doesn't have that crock plastic and feels good, I'm more apt to buy it.
More and more airports are banning them.
Why?
They're getting stuck. It's the plastic parts.
Oh, they're getting stuck in stupid places
Hmm.
because stupid people are not putting them in the places correctly.
We don't have stupid people, you know, escalators.
Oh, so people just don't know how to wear them, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to happen everywhere. I got little spiders on this fabric.
Ooh, I like that one.
Fran would disapprove.
Well, you guys have a spider fetish going on. I can only imagine what's going to come next.
So, speaking of Fran, Friday she sent me a text saying or asking, what is my opinion of Merrily We Roll Along, the musical?
Okay.
And I said, in what capacity? Because I have lots of opinions. And she goes, would you see it? Have you seen it? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I put it on our watch list for when I'm up there in May.
Hmm.
Um, I love the music. I love the show. It's one of those sleeper shows that came out initially in the 80s and closed after like a week or two
Hmm.
because people didn't know about it. And then it just grew in popularity slowly. And they did a pro shot from it last year, I think, with Harry Potter and a couple of like the revival cast, which is what I'm like, we need to watch that. And apparently, there is a local production of it happening in Enfield, Connecticut, which is around the corner from home. That Fran's like, do you want to go to? I'm like, I'm game. Tickets are $30, so I'm definitely game.
It's very cheap.
And I think we got front row seats.
Nice. Well, that'll be fun. We just had Phantom here at the Sanger, and tickets when they first came out were $400. And I'm like, we're not in New York, we're in New Orleans. And when the show actually hit, they were down to $100. I'm like, still. And they were here for 10 days.
So is it at the equivalent of like the Fabulous Fox there, or is it
Yeah.
at okay, so that's what I mean,
Yeah, the
a
Sanger,
hundred
it's
dollars is still a little ridiculous.
the Sanger was built in 1903. And then Katrina ruined everything, like everything is. And then the city re upped it. And now the city owns it. And so they're in charge of it. We got
Good afternoon, Ingrid. How are you?
we have Book of Mormon coming next month.
Ooh, that would be fun to go see. I heard
They're,
that they just celebrated their 15 on Broadway, and a bunch of the original cast are coming back for a handful of performances
oh, that'll be fun.
throughout the next month or so.
Hmm.
And I'm like, that sounds fun. Too bad I don't live anywhere near. Now, David, don't forget to trim down your half square triangles this time.
I already did that. I made a note and I have my ruler and I am good with that one.
I'm pressing open my half square triangles now, and we'll have to trim them in a second.
You do block four first.
No, there's half square triangles in block 3.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, let me make sure I trim down to the correct number. Okay, which is this month has significantly more to trim than last month somehow. Did I grab the wrong pieces? I don't know. Yeah. Oh, wait.
You did?
No, I was lining up against the wrong line.
Oh,
That was almost bad. Yeah, I was going to cut these bigger, but I've already got the background already cut. So I can't cut these any bigger. What are you staring in confusion at?
no, I'm just deciding which color is going to line up with which
Oh,
apartment.
you're trying to lay out.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with this color. Like
I feel like I should have prepped these half square triangles before.
that. I did only because of the cutting, because it made it so much easier.
I had them sewn ahead of time. I just didn't have them trimmed. Live and learn for next month. Ingrid says she liked my video because she enjoys the craziness. Thank you, Ingrid.
Which craziness?
All of it.
I was gonna say we don't do
I
craziness.
was gonna Stream Element says, I know you've probably already done it, but would you mind liking the video if you're enjoying this craziness?
Ah,
And then after this live, I get to go jump on a ladder.
yeah, I would kind of wish I was there to watch this.
I'll tell Tim to record all of it.
Well, just hook your camera up before you go up the ladder.
I wish I could do that, but
Did they rip it all the way down, or
no. So for the people who are watching, when my trees were removed, when they were pulling everything out, pulling all limbs out, one of the limbs just grabbed my camera and just yanked down and pulled it out. It pulled it. The camera has two sections. One section is the camera, and it's got a wire into a USB port. And then the other section is a USB port that goes and then has wire and plugs into the wall outlet. So somehow the yanking pulled it out of the USB port, which it's secured in there, so it had a good yank.
well, looking at the branches that did it, I could see it.
Yeah. And by the time that the crew was done, it was already getting dark. And I was like, I don't want to spend the time with one of you guys on the ladder trying to adjust the little bit. I was like, I'll just get up there this week and put it up. And my neighbor across the street, he wanted the wood chippings, or at least one load of the wood chippings. So I joked with him and said, "Hey, would you watch me for when I fall, basically in case I fall, while I put the camera back up?" And he just looks at me, and I'm like, "We'll call that payment for the wood chips,"
Oh
which
my
I
God.
still haven't sent you a screenshot of his pile of wood chips.
Well, I can remember, I'm sure it's big because I remember when across the way did the trees and how much he took then.
Yeah, but I figured like with him getting the wood chips, it saved the crew several minutes and probably several dollars of the disposal.
Oh, yeah.
Good afternoon, Nikki B. Quilts. And Meredith says craziness in quilting and in life.
You could also ask the other neighbor that would definitely film you if Tim can't.
Well, he's been working crazy schedule and he's already upset because I didn't tell him that I was getting trees removed because he wanted to put all of his branches in my yard.
No, no, I'm not
And
talking. Are you talking across the way or next door?
I'm talking next door.
Oh, no, I'm talking across the way because they would definitely record you falling.
Oh,
You
I
know they
mean,
would. You know they would.
yeah. The problem is, if I did fall, it would take her like several minutes
From stopping
to
laughing.
to stop laughing and to get to her phone. And then she might have a low blood sugar attack because she was laughing so hard.
I know that's the best part of them. She'd be on the ground rolling around laughing.
Because when I got Riley, I brought Riley across the street and she was like sitting down and Riley was licking on her. And then she's like, Russ, go get me a Coke out of the fridge. And I'm like, really? Just this little bit of excitement has, and she's like, yes, it does that sometimes.
Mhm.
So I try to keep excitement levels low around her. They haven't been home in the afternoons. Also,
Is she remote now with the new one or no?
she is,
Okay. Well, that's not bad then.
but crazy from the other direction next door.
Well, yeah.
He showed up on Thursday and
I swear he misses you.
he asked me, are they home? And I'm like, they were home earlier, but they've not been home anytime that he's been back in the neighborhood. In other amusing conversations, uh, when was it? It was either Wednesday or Friday. Probably Wednesday. Um, I was working from home and um hey John from Guys Craft 2, how you doing? He's lurking in the background and getting chores done. So I was working from home and I had the television on in the background on the Murder She Wrote channel on Pluto TV.
Love that channel.
And I was um I was just watching whatever just happened to be on each episode and stuff. And that day there were a ton of Star Trek actors on.
Hmm.
We're talking John Delancey, LeVar Burton, um, Kate Mulgrew, Ricardo Montalban. Just like I was like, is this Star Trek Day or something?
On
And
Murder She
every
Wrote.
time one showed up, I sent it to one of my besties from college, and she finally comes back with, Russ, with your quilting and now Murder She Wrote stuff, you're giving off old lady vibes.
No, that's my place back in the day.
And I said, I see your quilting accusation and Murder She Wrote, and I will raise you this candy dish full of grandma candy.
I forgot about that.
Because I love me some butterscotch. And it's got to be the cheap butterscotches, not the, Harry and David. I
No,
need I need like dollar store butterscotch, the stuff that
we
always
grew up on
magically appears in grandma's
pocket.
purse.
Hmm. Yes.
And it also has
The strawberry creams.
the strawberry creams and the root beer barrels. Oh, those are good too. And the cinnamon candy. Not a fan of the peppermints, but if you get the
No,
mix,
because those were always like at school and doctor's office for me.
yeah. Now, the soft peppermints, whatever those are called, I love. But the hard candy peppermints, I'm like, I can give or take those.
Yeah.
If I'm going to eat something minty, I want an Altoid.
Yes.
But she said that she was cackling after that whole comment, and I didn't go through the whole gay or old lady contest thing that I've done with your houses in Phoenix
I
with
don't know what she
friends.
talked about. Although I did put another light in the hallway because I don't like overhead lights. I was at Lowe's yesterday and I found a cute little one that looks like a mason jar.
Ooh, similar to the lights that are on the living room ceiling fan here.
Yes.
Okay, those are going to go that way. I want these to go that way. Okay.
Which one are you on now?
I'm still working on block 3.
Oh,
I'm going sideways, or I'm trying to do whatever those things are called. The Haskell triangle pieces, putting them together.
mm,
Deciding pressing directions.
yes.
Meredith says wintergreen candies are her jam. Oh, had I, planned these, I would have pressed these in opposite directions. Oops.
It's all good.
So I have half decided that Murder She Wrote is on my shopping list for eventual purchase.
Oh, I can see that.
The um the DVDs.
Hmm.
The pro I say the problem is it's $60, but at the same time,
For one or one set.
for the entire series, and that's what I was gonna say. For the at the same time, it's for the entire series, and I think there's like 10 or 11 seasons.
Hmm.
So I think it's worth the price that is there.
Oh yeah.
But I never understood how she is constantly in the middle of all of these murders.
Well, yeah.
Like, what kind of luck do you have that everybody you know just seems to be attached to a murder?
They always call her too.
And I did that so wrong. It goes that way. And I did. Yeah. This is not the correct direction.
No, you got it
That's
upside down.
probably a later month's block, if I remember correctly.
You pulled a me.
I'm directionally challenged at times.
Nothing wrong there.
Okay. I have the other three laid out. I just got to rip these in. I wonder. I was gonna say, can I just sew the other side? But
You could.
I don't know. I still have to rip this side, so no matter what, I'd have to do a little bit of ripping. Okay, I have a question for you, David.
I didn't do it. Probably did, but I didn't.
I mean, the question is whether or not you did something.
Uh, Depends on the
You
day.
you live in New Orleans.
Uh-huh.
There is a giant lake near you.
Like punch a train with
Have
the.
you ever driven across it?
That's the only way I can get to the good quilt store. It's free to go north. It costs me $6 to go south.
The only reason why I asked is because I literally saw a video like an hour and a half ago on that
On
bridge
YouTube.
on YouTube.
Hmm. Yeah, they've been playing that one a lot lately.
No, no, it's a brand new video from the traffic light doctor, which don't ask me why I'm watching traffic light stuff.
Um, because you're a geek like that. And you like that stuff.
I mean, he's also kind of adorbs, but married with children.
Really. Well, that's
Uh, yeah, he's also from Mississippi, so he's got that drawl, which may or may not also do it for me.
well, that bridge, the reason why it's because it's across the full lake and
Yeah, it's 24 miles, I think he said.
26.
26.
Yeah.
And like when you're in the middle, you have no idea where you are because you can't see land.
No. And 9 times out of 10, you lose signal about halfway through.
That makes sense because there's no cell towers and curvature of the earth shenanigans. Same reason why you can't see land.
Yes.
So how long does it take to cross that bridge?
About 30 minutes, unless there's an accident. but I just put it on cruise control and let everybody zoom past me. And I just put on some music and off we go.
Yeah, it does it both seems like a fun bridge and a horrible bridge.
So going north is smooth. Coming back, for whatever reason, somebody forgot to level out the cement, and so you go up and down, up and down, up and down throughout the whole thing. So
Really?
if you get any type of motion sickness, the way back into the city, not fun for them.
He also started his trip out at a Bucky's.
Oh, the new one?
I don't know. I think he may have still been in Mississippi at the time.
Yeah, there's a new one in Mississippi that just opened up probably 8 months ago.
So again, don't know where he was, but that was part of his trip conversation that he wanted was he's like, I need to get lunch first. And
Yep.
I was like, and that's when in my head, I was like, is he going to a Bucky's for lunch?
Yeah, it's about the same distance for the Bucky's here as it is for Adairsville for you.
Ah,
So, if I feel like I need to go for a drive at night, I go for a drive at night.
okay. I'm not going to put these together quite yet because I want to start figuring out these blocks. Really, Russell? More Hasker triangles that you started and didn't trim. Okay. Oh, this one I have to figure out the order of operations first because I've got the center square that needs to be done right.
Mhm.
Okay, I think that looks good. This way. This way. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you saw on the live yesterday. I bought these.
Yeah, I saw you didn't hold them up. Is that what we're talking about, the grab bag or the scrap
Yep.
bag?
2 pounds of fabric.
Oh, that's right, because we're like, have we ever needed to justify spending $100 on buying a ton of them? Did they put those together or did they buy them?
No, they're from Free Spirit.
Okay.
And or I'm assuming they're from because like one of the bags they showed had Moon Garden fabric in it,
Hmm.
which is now out of print. And um, I was like, I wonder what other potentially out of print stuff that they would have. I haven't opened up the bag yet because who knows when
You're gonna get to it.
I'm going to get to the project that I have in mind for it.
Right. Because it's not like we may have 900 block of the months going right now. And we're getting ready for Christmas in July.
Ah, yes, Christmas.
Which
I'm
maybe in April when I'm over there, we can sit down and figure out how we want to do that one.
I'm also working on, you know, Vlogmas already.
Well, you've got to do that.
Yeah, because everybody's like, "What jokes are you going to have this year?" None.
Russ not have jokes. Yes.
Uh, But yeah, my Vlogmas is going to be a bigger Vlogmas than any Vlogmas I've ever had before.
Are you guys gonna do the box again?
I did not pre-order the box.
I mean, you and Fran.
Oh, the fantastic box. I can't afford that again. She took 2 years of my YouTube earnings to make that box. I can't afford another 2 years yet.
Yeah.
This way.
Did you just lose power?
No, my light just turned off. It did
Oh,
that
okay.
during my live yesterday as well. I have no idea why it's doing that.
Is that one that we still have to have
No,
wired?
it's a smartified light. It just randomly will. And the thing is, it was on all night last night. So it's not like it's set that at a certain number of hours on or something like that that'll turn off. It was on all night because I forgot to turn off my lights down here. So
I'm
who
surprised you
knows?
don't have that programmed yet.
Yeah, I should have all of these lights set to turn off at like midnight or something. Because if I'm in my sewing room at midnight, there's problems.
That's like crisis mode.
Okay. I need to press that way. Okay. But I have a feeling I need to get Jeff out here soon because all of the LEDs on the under and over cabinet lights are half dimmed for some reason.
Well, they're only made for a certain number of hours, and you don't exactly turn them off all the time.
I mean, yeah,
So they've gotten their life usage because that was done
yes.
in 2020, and here we are 2026.
Yeah. But I'm going to ask him his suggestion on if there's something that's easier to do replacings.
Well, you and I can do those because they're hardwired in it. So that was the hardest part.
Yeah, well, I should get up. I should get on my ladder. Wait, do I have an indoor? Yeah, I have an indoor ladder. Um, get on my ladder and look up there to see what type of um what I have to do to change the LEDs. But it looks like a replacement strip from Depot is like $70 now.
Yeah, they've gone up.
And I'm like, really?
Look at Lowe's. When I was there yesterday, they had some really nice ones now.
The concern that I have is the reach down because I know everything is plugged in up in the above section.
Yeah.
So I don't know how he wired it to get to the below. That's more of what I'm questioning and why he might have to come out.
Well, it's not
As
like
if,
we're,
he doesn't like coming to see me.
well, I was going to say that, and we can start telling them the grand plans of kind of, by the way, in a year
Oh,
or so.
well, oh wait, I was gonna say he knows all my grand plans except he doesn't know the new grand plan,
Exactly. Because that one's going
which
to
is
require
only
some.
gonna require him to install like 4 lights. No, I'm sorry, 6 lights 8 lights. How many lights?
and possibly move some plugs
And moving plugs and a light switch.
and adding 8 cam lights.
Yeah. Stuff that he'll be like, Russell, what are you doing?
He's just gonna look at you like, shakes his head and been like, yeah, whatever.
Da, da, da.
So next time I'm there, besides curtain hanging, we're gonna have to start getting room de-blued.
Yes. Well, I don't I don't think it's worth the extra effort to de-bluify the room until um
Oh no, it's worth the extra effort
uh
because the baseboard's painted red or burgundy.
yeah. Because I was like, it's gonna have to be painted anyway.
Yeah, but then at least has a good coat of base paint to start off with, and we can get the ceiling fixed up and yeah. But we also got to do curtain rods,
Yes.
and so if we're going to do those up there, we might as well paint as well.
Meredith says grand plans are getting grander by the millisecond. Yeah.
She's not worked with seen us in action before.
I mean that's part of it is
Because guess what came in the mail yesterday? My thingamabob.
your doohickey.
Yes,
I thought that was supposed to be due there like last week.
it was, but I finally opened it yesterday.
Oh. So it didn't come in the mail yesterday, you just finally opened it
Well,
yesterday.
I finally opened the mail yesterday.
Oh.
I've got it attached but not plugged in.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's gonna require a Zoom call from us.
Mm-hmm. But you know what's depressing those last time we had this conversation, there was Fry's Electronics. We almost got thrown out.
I know.
Those were the good old days.
And yeah.
You know, if we were smart, we would
Whoever
have.
said we're smart.
I know, but when we have Jeff around, we should, if we thought about it, we should add access points and put your network in the closet.
Oh, that has been part of my thought.
And I would use the linen closet. I wouldn't use the bedroom closet because
Well, and that's what I said. It's been part of my thought in the linen closet because I want to get an antenna up in the ceiling or in the ceiling in the attic space. And while it's up in the attic space, put a what is the word? Put my HD home run up in that attic space too,
Mhm.
so that everything is together and then all my TV is together. But it would make sense to put the repeater up in that closet too. I just need to get him to run a network cable. And because of the great grand idea that is happening, there's already a network cable that'll be available.
What?
Because that was part of my whole questioning is what am I going to do with the equipment that I have in that room that's network related?
Mhm. Well, if you were to take just a shelf and a half out of move the tools out of there, and put them in the garage where they belong, um, you can make that work and still have place for linen.
Well, I can't put some of the equipment that's in the other room in there because it needs airflow.
That's easy enough.
Because, no, things don't like getting hot.
Again, we have an electrician.
Yeah, I just got to figure out where and how things are going to go. Okay. Let go.
How's your block?
I am about to do a whole bunch of trimming because I got block four's center here, and then I've got all the flying geese. And I'm going to be trying a new tool,
I love that tool.
and I'll describe the tool for everybody in a minute.
I used it on the center block as well.
I was about to ask how, but now I see how you could have done it.
Uh-huh. And it came out to my 4.5. Look at me think outside the box for once.
Feels a little complicated to do it that way, but whatevs.
Have I ever
Again,
done
I see how it could be worked. It just
have
feels
I
complicated.
have I ever done anything not complicated?
And center block. And then now it's just, or it's, no, wait, I got to trim both half square triangles and the geese. Because I did not follow the instructions for the half square triangles for reasons. I think that is hysterical to have on fabric.
Oh, I like that.
So before we went live, you told me that you got to do your first attempt at bartending.
Oh, geez. You know, if I had not ordered the book for the staff to have on hand, the bartender's guide to whatever of old drinks and everything, yeah, last night was a chaotic mess.
So you were making mixed drinks as well?
Yeah, I feel sorry for the guest because I am not a bartender, and we all know how much I don't drink. And so, yeah, nobody told me that you had to do a test on the drafts to make sure there's no foam and blah blah blah. And so, yeah.
That almost sounded like my days at Waffle House when um, our cooks would just pass out in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to cook our, well, not only did we have to wait tables, but we had to cook our own food for people. And we had one customer, he would come in at like 5:45 in the morning, and he would order a single over light with grits. And I was like, I've never flipped an egg before in my life. And like I've seen it happen a gabillion times. And like I did my best. And at the end I asked him how it was. And he goes, It was on the stove for like 10 seconds too long, but it was pretty decent.
Okay.
I was like, I'll take it.
Yes. Yeah, last night was just a comical mess because the manager did not order supplies, I guess, and so I had no to-go cups. And I'm like, well, the guest needs a to-go cup, so I found 32-ounce soup cups, and that was the to-go cup. And tomorrow, when I get their inventory and run their numbers, I'm going to be like, why are you so far over on your inventory and your cost of goods? And I can already hear the answer.
I did find out why they've been out of Diet Pepsi at our local QT for like 6 months. Okay,
Lazy,
it's been like 2 months at least.
laziness.
Uh, the line is clogged or something, and they say they keep logging tickets and they never get it resolved. And I'm like,
QT has a
that's
really good repair system.
yeah, I'm like, that's no excuse.
I wonder if corporate even knows.
It was more frustrating yesterday because my preference is, Diet Pepsi, then Coke Zero, then Diet Coke, and they were out of both Diet Pepsi and Coke Zero.
Wait, I thought you had Diet Pepsi at the house in the Soda Stream.
I didn't have any made.
Ah,
And I was like, I was already there for, and it's zero, not diet, but I think it's zero, Pepsi Zero that I have. But
do they have jalapenos yet?
do they have what?
Jalapenos yet?
Yeah, I didn't even look at that because that's even more frustrating. Okay, now I'm going to try my new toy because we are making flying geese and we needed, or it is suggested, like you could make flying geese without any extra tools. You can use your standard ruler and use your lines up here to get your 1/4 inch and diagonals and stuff like that, line everything up. But they make a block lock ruler. And uh since I since it was highly suggested for the finishing blocks to get the block lock, I ordered the set with multiple sizes. So it's like,
It says set A. Is there more sets than the one that we got?
I don't know. Wait, where is right here? Ah. That gives me an excuse to use my tiny press and cut mat so that I can just rotate the mat instead of rotating the fabric. See, I knew this purchase was worthwhile.
Was this a QuickCon purchase?
No, it was a Sewing Expo purchase.
Ah,
And this is my first time using a block lock, so we will see how happy I am in a minute.
I thought you used block lock on squaring.
No, these were my first block locks that I've ever had.
Or were you
In
using perfect slotted?
I in the past I had used this perfect square squarely perfect slotted trimmer, something like that. Um, which makes nice half square triangles out of a tube, but it's a pain in the neck. Uh, Most of the time I just prefer using traditional methods with squaring like half square triangles and that.
Mhm.
But I figure I have this tool now for flying geese. Let's see how it works.
I think you'll be quite impressed.
It's going decent. The cutting mat is what's giving me the more grief because it's not a self-healing. So it feels funny. I got to get accustomed to the feel of that. But it's giving nice flying geese. These, because I hate flying geese.
Well, now that we have Tool, I haven't tried Creative Grids one that I bought yet.
Now I do like the triangulations flying geese. Those come out really nice, but they're also a pain in the neck to plan.
Mhm.
But those are foundation paper pieced flying geese in the purest form. And then I got to figure out how I'm going to, if I'm going to attempt your method of squaring out the center block or if I'm going to do my method.
I don't know what to talk about.
I will say the block lock, um, it's expensive, but this was very easy to trim up my flying geese. Like I said, I could have done this easily with my standard ruler, but this was easy.
Once it
It,
locks
it
into,
was so much easier.
yeah, once it locks into place, it's like it's there.
Good afternoon, Stephanie. How are you today? Oh,
What's wrong?
oh, wait, I haven't trimmed this yet. I don't have to think about that horribleness for another trim. I looked at the putting this block together instructions and was like, I don't know if I want to do it that way.
Oh, the one reverse one.
The it's it is block 4, but the way to get the fabrics in the quadrants. Because I was about to put it together with the flying goose with the flying or with the half square triangle of the same fabric. And then I'm glad I realized that's not how you do it. And then this whole any cutting mat is a spinning cutting mat if it's small enough and you can rotate it.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. Okay. Now it's just lay blocks out, sew together. It's gonna be smoother. Okay, so this layout, which is the funky one, we are doing a partial seam and it goes together like this. Here, you go out. You go here. I'm going to get most of that pumpkin in shot or in frame.
Oh, good.
Outward. That means you go outward there. That is not right. No, that is right. Okay. And yay for partial seam production. This one I want to lay out like this, like that. That. I think I should have swapped two of these colors, but too late now. Or the position of two of these fabrics.
Why so?
I've got gray and black next to each other.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not ripping a second time on a lie
Mhm.
if I can help it. Nobody will know the difference.
Never.
Turn on that. And now I got to debate which way do I want. Wait. No, this way. Okay. Does the pattern tell us which way to press? Um,
Yeah, but then I may have overlooked that.
yes, it does. So and that's the direction I was going to press it anyway. Not that I'm a fan of that. I would probably prefer to press it this way, but I understand why that way is better. Okay. Again, had I looked at the future pressing instructions, I would have pressed my half square triangles differently.
No, unfortunately, I pressed that way. Luck of the draw.
Stephanie's asking, are I on block 4? Okay, I should have translated, am I? Yes, yes, I am. Well, I'm still haven't finished block 3 either, but that's because I'm going back and forth with the finishing of these blocks. I wanted to move ahead, move ahead. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. It's skip ahead, skip ahead.
Mhm.
I was about to say, look at Stephanie knowing which block is which, but yeah, it does say that we're working on 3 and 4.
Mhm. This is true.
Okay. Now I have to remember how to do the partial seam. Okay, it tells me to do that. Okay. So the only other time I have done a partial seam was when Fran visited the first time. That was in what, 2009, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because she had asked if I would teach her how to do some quilt blocks, like how to do. She basically said, if I teach her how to quilt, and we know teach how anything, you can only do like basics. And I was like, sure. So I went to the local shop and looked in their sale room. And I initially was going to find just fabric, but they had old Saturday sampler blocks.
Hmm.
And Saturday sampler is beginner to confident beginner. And I said, okay, let me just grab a Saturday sampler block. Not knowing what I was grabbing, but I grabbed one and uh get it here and everything. And as I'm looking through it, I'm like, what the heck is a partial seam? So I had to learn myself how to do a partial seam while I'm trying to teach Fran how to basically, do basic sewing of straight lines. Because that's all quilting is sewing of a straight line
Right.
until you get into curves.
Hmm.
So before I had even ever done a partial seam, I taught Fran how to do a partial seam. And if I do say so myself, she rocked that partial seam.
Good. This one's not as bad once you put it in play.
Yeah, once you start the partial seam, it's fine. I dislike the fact that I can't easily chain piece now, but that's what happens when you get to the end of a block. You can't chain piece. Okay, press out. Candace doesn't think she's done a partial seam. Candace, you haven't lived until you've done a partial. No, they're not difficult. It's just confusing your brain at first because the hard part about a partial seam is to make sure you start it correctly, which the instructions will tell you where to start and all that good stuff.
Correct.
But you only go halfway down this way. You only go halfway down the seam, and then you're building the opposite direction. It looks really funky until you realize what you're doing is right. And I think Candace's lack of a partial seam means she needs to do this project. Yeah, that's it.
Hmm. I gotta trim all mine up when I get done because I don't have my big block or ruler.
So what it really means is things look like you're doing stuff really wrong when you're doing a partial seam, but it works. Trust the process.
The next 2 months or 2 blocks are going to be super easy.
I think one of them looks very similar to block
Three,
three.
yeah, block five is very, very similar, just layout different.
Yeah. Because when I was trying to get stuff cut a little ahead, I was like, this looks exactly like we just did. And I rewind, I was like, okay, so it is what we did, just opposites. I think we're about to be on par with the last video with how long it takes us to make these blocks.
Yeah, it happens.
Okay, this is just where things feel funny is when you're sewing up that last bit in the partial seam. And the worst part is make sure you go as far as your previous stitches were. Otherwise, you're going to have a hole.
Hmm. Yes. I left a little clippy for so I remember where it was. So
Candace
I
says
know.
she'll add it list to the list of 100 other projects.
I think four was our is going to be our most challenging one with that half stitch.
I mean, 2 weeks ago, you were severely concerned about four.
Yeah, it was just
I mean, you were talking about it like 12 times.
because I had to psych myself up for it.
Okay, let me get the last pressing done. Get that center seam how I want it into place. You have yours done?
Yeah.
Okay. So pull up your block three. Maybe let my camera resettle. Okay. Here's my block three.
Hmm.
That's four. You're
Sorry.
Oh, look, Russ has his block three wrong. Oh, look, David has his block three wrong.
No, I don't.
You sure?
Yeah,
Show your block three again.
I followed directions. Yeah.
Sho- Nope, yours is sideways.
Yeah, I'm not changing it.
I was gonna say yours is mirror imaged. My last two things I'm gonna have to rip. I'm not ripping on camera. And then block four. So our block fours are good.
Mhm.
My block three needs a rip. I don't know how I did that, but I did. It's fine. It's life.
Oh, I see what I did. Mine is I can fix mine.
Yours is mirror imaged, I think, which means it's fine, basically.
Yeah, I'm not changing it. We all know how I am about that stuff.
Yeah. So now that we practically have our blocks three and four done, after Russ rips everything out, uh, actually, are you sure you didn't create block five?
No, I see what I did. So this one right here needs to turn around upside down, and this one needs to turn around. So I just need to rip out my middle seam.
Oh, you need to rip
Yeah.
out. Okay.
Okay, that one I will fix.
Okay. So it's not a horrible thing.
No, 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 it's just one seam.
It's what happens when we sew live. We're
Mhm.
bound to make mistakes. So I want to first thank David for, joining me in what is his idea for a block of the month.
Mhm.
And I want to thank everybody else that's out here for joining me for stuff coming up on my channel this week. On Tuesday morning, I have a video that will be released uh, because, Russ likes watching other professionals do their jobs. So I've got the video coming out on the professionals removing the trees that were in the backyard. It also lets everybody see why the trees needed to be gone and everything, and the fact that you can see some of the rot that has started in the root ball. So that's why they needed to go. On Thursday, I will have my weekly vlog come out on whatever shenanigans that I had come up with this week, which is going to include fixing this. And Saturday is going to be Sparkle More. It's a block of the month that I am doing through the local quilt shop. David is doing it as well. David's doing in different colors, right? Than traditional or than the pattern.
Yeah,
You're not using the blues.
yeah, no,
Okay.
I'm doing
Yeah,
the
you're doing those colors. So we will be back here with Sparkle More on Saturday. And then at some point this week, I need to get a video recorded for the giveaway that is going to happen because I hit 1,500 subscribers yesterday. So I'm going to create a video with a little bit of a giveaway. You will have to have been subscribed to get in the giveaway. So if you're not subscribed yet, this is your key to be subscribed because otherwise you can't get into the giveaway. So just warning you guys now. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you this week. Toodles.
bye everyone.